thing I really need to do is, you know what that does? That syncs it up, you know, like.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Do I need to do it as well?
You don't. You can do it if you want. Bit of fun.
Hey.
What that does is,
Yeah.
my recording software will pick up audio,
Yeah.
and so will the soundboard itself. And so the clap
Yeah.
finds a syncing moment, so they can.
And then that's kind of cool actually.
So that's why they have the clicker at the start of movies.
Yeah, to like sync the audio and the video.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Pretty groovy.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Dot Podcast. Bring it in with the big energy straight out of the bat. What an exciting episode. I've got a good friend of mine. Can I say that now?
Go for it, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'll take it with good friends.
What do I call you? You got Fred on your...
yeah, just say Fred.
Fred. Cool. Yeah. Fashion designer, entrepreneur, absolute style icon, swagger on 100,000 million. I forget the lyrics where that comes from.
Man.
Most recent venture, though, is NAEON. We'll get more into that in a moment. I'm wearing one of the garments right now, the overshirt. It's very comfy. Yeah. The colors pop really nicely.
Yeah.
And it's got such a unique fit. Like the sleeves are all the right size, but it's long like at the front, but then short at the back. It's like super cool.
Yeah.
Are these handmade?
Yeah. No, I think they're actually, it's kind of a mix between the two. The fabric itself is machine sort of knitted, and then some of the small stitching like the sleeves and the cuffs are actually done by hand sometimes because the machine can't reach that far. But otherwise our manufacture is all done purely on machines. Like it's crazy. It's like an automatic sewing machine. And so it's like this big massive table. And then there's like a laser and it will like pinpoint where the seam needs to be done. And it'll just go by itself.
That is.
Yeah. So we've moved. Yeah.
That's
kind
so
of
cool.
Insane. But yeah, there you go.
Your bit of context. We used to work together selling clothes, and some people,
yeah, we did.
Find this retail as like money and stuff like that. But clearly, it meant more to you because you're actually really into fashion design and whatnot. Like, where did it all start for you? Like your interest in fashion and clothing.
I don't know. It kind of just went from, so the first thing I ever custom made or sort of just played around with was just drawing on my shoes back in primary school.
So cool.
And it was me and a mate of mine, and we had these like old, do you know like the dad shoe trend? Like imagine all those kinds of shoes, but it was actually the only stylish shoes we had. And so they're like super chunky and they're made out of mesh. And we just got markers and started like coloring in bits here and there. And yeah, like mine was like flame inspired because like I was like, I used to love drawing cars, and in hot rod culture, there's always like classic vintage flames on the front. And so I drew flames on mine, and then I customized his as well. It wasn't, for me, it kind of just progressed from there. I wasn't really like, oh yeah, I want to make clothes or anything like that. I guess it sort of progressed. Yeah, like in high school, I started getting into like business and, looking at following your own path and quote unquote entrepreneurship. And I remember my first foray was selling clothes. So what I do is I'll go to like AliExpress or Alibaba and just like buy like
everything,
whatever they had. Yeah, like whatever I thought was cool. And I'd get it all shipped to my house, and my room would just be like filled with pants and like all these weird like harnesses and stuff like that. And yeah, and so that was my first day. And I remember setting up this sort of site, and it had all the pants on it. And we're selling those. And I remember just like, being really excited and setting it all up. And I pretty much didn't sleep that night, just getting it all set up. And then we opened.
Wow.
I didn't sell anything at all
shit.
whatsoever. And that was the first foray. And then what ended up happening was I realized like, oh, okay, well, this isn't working because I don't have the audience or I don't have the exposure. And then I just went on Facebook Marketplace, and I still got the pants like sold. Like I set a goal for myself. I was like, look, if I can sell all these pants by the end of the month, I'll buy myself a shoe. I still
One
have
shoe.
those. Yeah, like a single, not even a pair, just
Yeah.
one shoe. Yeah, and I still have those shoes. And it's a good reminder, I guess. For me, it was a good reminder of like, if I set myself towards a goal, then if I'm really committed to that goal, then I can complete it. And then I need to make sure to reward myself. It's kind of weird because I haven't really done that much I haven't done that process much because everything seems very long term now. So I sort of don't know. Yeah, I sort of don't know when do I reward myself. But yeah, after that, so that was called Urban Atelier. There was one day I was working at G Star. This was before I met you at Scotch and Soda.
I think I met you at G Star. Because our mutual friend who I initially met you through.
Oh yeah.
I came in there randomly.
Yeah, you dropped by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. Oh yeah, sorry, dude.
You're right.
Yeah, and we had a day where everyone was wearing their lanyards like around their neck, and I had a pair of cargo pants, and I was like, oh, what? Like, I got really tired of wearing it around my neck, and I didn't want to be like anyone else, and so I kind of wrapped it around my leg, and I tucked it into my cargo pocket, so it looked like there was a harness around my thigh.
Oh right.
And then I remember like that day. Yeah, it was at G Star. Right. And I remember all the other staff mates were like, dude, that looks so cool. Like we want to do that too. And I was thinking, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. And I started to think like, oh, why can't cargo pants have this strap, the single strap around the thigh? And I got thinking, I went home, and then again, I went onto Alibaba and AliExpress and I found those pants. Like it's kind of crazy. Like that, like the market in China, in terms of their fashion, it's so different. Like they're so out there. And so they had these pants which are like had straps and like buckles and everything. And I was like, oh, this is a great idea. And so I learned from my last lesson, instead of buying all the stock and bringing it here, what I tried instead was I tried to do drop shipping. And so what you do is, instead of like having all the stock, every time someone orders from you, you place an order to whoever the manufacturer is, and you give them the details of the person that bought from you.
Dropshipping was like, a bit of a meme at one point, if I remember correctly.
Oh, hell yes. It used to be huge. Like you'd always see those ads like, oh, watch how my friend made $20,000 in like 2 months, and I'll show you the same. I actually got caught by that. So I was at a point in time when I was like, oh shit, like I really want to do something. I want to make some money. Like it sucks being like in this situation. And I remember like I had I had $900 in my bank account, and the guy was like, I was watching a video, and the video was like, oh, I'll show you how to drop ship, and you can make money, and you never have to do this ever again. Like you can start living your own life, and like go on holidays all the time. I was like, oh yeah, okay. And he said the course was 2.8K, but he said specifically, just specially for this one-time offer, it was $700. And I only had $900 in my account, and I was like, shit, this better be worth it. And so I remember like paying the $700, went through the course. I got a notebook and everything. I wrote everything down.
Okay, that's such a risk. Like it sounds like it paid off, but I see that and I'm like,
it was
get
not.
out of
it
here.
Didn't pay
No way.
It didn't pay it off at all.
Oh no.
So and so that was the thing. So we went through the notes, wrote everything down, tried all the settings. I knew that there was something wrong with the course the moment when he said open the Facebook settings, like Facebook ad settings. And I opened up the page, same links that he opened up on his browser. I think I had all the new version of Facebook. All the links were different. He didn't none of the settings that he showed were on my page. And that was like, oh, damn, I lost my money.
Oh my
so that was a really good learning experience. And it was just like, yep, all right. I tried it anyway. I still tried dropshipping. And it was a really interesting moment. So I was camping for some sneakers outside Shopping Town. It was me and a couple guys, and we were just sitting on chairs like at 4 a.m.
Camping for sneakers.
And then I think it was a pair of Jordans. And we were, and I remember like, I was going to go inside the shopping center because it's really cold outside to check on my dropshipping store. And I remember going inside, plugging it. There was like a China bar, and it's like all because it's like there's no doors, so you can just walk into the kitchen or whatever, and they block it off with a row of chairs. And I remember just setting up like a little table and a chair because it was close to an electrical plug. So I just plugged my laptop in, and then I just like open up my store, check my store, and it turns out that I made 2 sales, $150 each.
Nice.
For 2 pairs of cargos.
So you're halfway there, making that 700 back.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, and then I shut the store.
What?
Yeah. So what happened was at that point in time, I was super happy. I was like, yes, I finally made money. I was really proud of myself. I was like, celebrating. I was like, I made enough money to afford a pair of Jordans, and pretty much like 90% discount. And then I got an email from the 2 guys who bought the shoes, like 2 weeks later, like, hey, where are my pants? And I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just give them like a discount code, like free money for the next pair of pants they buy. And like, oh, here's a discount code. Sorry for the delay. We'll get your pants to you soon. And remember, like, one of the guys' emails, and like this stays with me because I was like, oh yeah. And he said, like, oh, I don't care about money. Like, I just want my pants. And that was when I was like, oh shit, I actually don't have a solution to this. And after that, I was like, oh, that's when I sort of realized that, like, I guess customer satisfaction or treating customers right was like, I guess that's when I learned that it was really important.
And you
so
certainly do.
Yeah.
If I just I think I got them here. Not only did I get this beautiful overshirt, I got this glorious card and a beautifully handwritten letter. I got some custom stickers. That's an Instagram post I have, where I'm just there with all my rings. I actually lost one of those rings recently. Slightly sad. Yeah. I lost it down the street.
Oh no.
Great sticker here. And you even gave me some of these. Now I'm going to stick one of these on the back of my laptop at work so people know, who I am. And
yeah, that's how exactly. That's how you promo.
But in terms of satisfaction, this is on point and great. And you can probably say, oh, your mates, this is a special fun little thing, cross promo, whatever. But I've seen the other stories that you do for other people. They open their boxes and it's a beautiful display of everything they got. You have a very unique, great view of like customer relations and satisfactions and whatnot. It's super cool.
Yeah. Thanks. I think it's a double-edged sword, and I think it needs a correct balance. But I definitely lean towards. For me, I always end up asking the question is like, how can I provide more value? And it's also, how can I provide more value without killing the business?
Yep.
So I want to be able to give something, but I don't want to, shoot myself in the foot, which is like, I wish I could just like give freely. I would love that. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
We actually had a guy who I think bought, about $600 worth of product in one order.
Wow.
And I checked his Instagram. I looked through his Instagram, and I saw that he was that he really liked rap. Like, all his story highlights were like, going to Kendrick's concert, then going to ASAP's concert. Like,
I was thinking of wearing this to Splendor next year. So,
dude, legit, you could.
Yeah, I actually think I will.
I'm keen to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'll be so keen.
I haven't bought my tickets yet, but it's on the waiting list. I'll wait for the paycheck to come in. And don't worry, I'll make a post.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, I remember checking through his Instagram, and he had all these highlights for him going to rap concerts. And I went on like Google, and I just Googled, like, I could see he loved Kendrick. And so I Googled like, I remember one of the, sorry, this is a bit all over the place.
Keep going. No, seriously.
Stories,
yeah.
One of his stories was him and Kendrick singing Humble. And I was like, oh, I think I know the album that comes from. And I Googled it. And I got him, I ended up getting him a...
Sorry, low-hanging fruit.
Oh, no. And I just, and I got him the Damn vinyl. And I gifted that to him. So in his box was, the 3 items they paid for, some custom stickers, as well as some custom stickers for him and his girlfriend. And then the Damn album. And,
wow.
Yeah. And so, when he opened it up, he was like, oh, dude, like, this is the this is the album that I've always wanted, and I really appreciate what you've done. And yeah, like those experiences are very, very enjoyable for me. And I think I really enjoy being able to give people things.
Yeah, because when I think back to working retail and stuff like that, it was the relations that were always the best. And when people come in, they're like, Joe. And I'm like, hey, you. And it's
you're
like,
really good at that. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's super nice to hear. Yeah.
It's super important.
Yeah. There's parts of me that do miss retail, like a little bit. I'm very extroverted, and I find that in types of public settings would be really cool. One of my dreams for this podcast, at least, is to do a live version and to have a component of audience interaction.
That'll be so
obviously, cool. COVID and an audience are needed. So
we'll get to that.
We'll get there. Exactly. Got to get moving. Oh, God. You've said so many things I want to touch on. I think a fun one to talk about.
Just pick whatever. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Lining up for shoes. Now, I quite like shoes myself. I've been called a hype beast by my friends. Does that term even exist anymore?
I don't know. I think
it's died out, certainly.
Probably. I think everyone's just realized that, I think hype culture just died in general, and everyone's starting to get back to their style and what they really like.
Because Supreme have changed from all the collabs and stuff like that to just more. I remember there was a big drop where they had just standard crew neck jumpers with the logo on it in like a rainbow color range or something like that. I'm just saying rainbows, and there were like 8 different colors or something like that.
They do that. Yeah, they do that for their drops.
Standard sizing and everything. But I'm like, that's cool. That's like what people want. It's like clothes are really funny. That.
It's crazy.
How many lineups for shoes, clothes, or anything have you done?
Legit, not that many. I think it's like once was for a pair of Jordans. Then I remember some NMDs, and then almost for a pair of like NASA Vans. But otherwise, I don't really go for a lot of lineups.
And do you flip the shoes or?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I don't usually keep that many. I think back then, it was all about that kind of, I'm a hustler kind of life. And so like, you want to like get shoes, get like anything you could flip. I think that's what I did at some point in time. Like anything I could flip, I would flip. Like I would be buying stuff from AliExpress to sell on like Facebook Marketplace, or like, seeing what I could find on like Facebook Marketplace itself, like for free, and see if like I could flip that for like $30 or $40.
Yeah, so I flip magic cards. So
nice.
I recently sent out
great.
72 magic cards to Card Kingdom. It has to be graded and tested and all of that. So the maximum I could get is $490 for 72 pieces of cardboard. Do you know what? I've got a stack right next to me.
Yeah.
Which I'll read. This is like 50 cards, but in here it could be.
That's insane.
Like, I think there's probably 150 in this stack.
So do you just, when it comes to like giving it to what's the place called?
So Card Kingdom is an online seller. They started off as a they're from Seattle, and they just would sell singles and sealed product and whatnot. But you can just go in, make your list. You have to order it correctly. It'll get sent to their store. Someone's gonna grade them. So it's called PSA, I think. So especially with the really, really expensive cards, Magic the Gathering has this thing called the Power 9, which are like the 9 most powerful rare cards. And you see it in Pokemon as well. A PSA system.
Is one of them called like White Lotus or something?
Black Lotus.
My brother. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Black Lotus.
Yeah, did your brother have one?
My brother. No. My brother he collected for a bit as well. Like he would like tick off all like the versions and stuff for a full lineup. Like,
So people will go for play sets, and there's a thing called the reserve list. So 30 years ago when they started, they had a bunch of cards that they made in alpha, beta, and limited, I think is what the set was called. And then they're just like, we're never going to reprint these cards ever again. And they were stupidly OP. They weren't balanced. Things weren't. They didn't have their identity. And Black Lotus is, if know Magic and how it works, it is a stupidly OP card that just breaks the flow of the game and whatnot. And so you'll find the differences between a PSA 1 compared to a PSA 10 could have a 5 to 6 figure difference in how much they get sold for. Yeah, because there's centering, there's lineups, and thank you to Logan Paul. I didn't think I'd say that ever in my life. Him getting into Pokemon cards heavily actually helped the Magic economy as well. So some of the cards that I was just sitting on suddenly peaked in value quite a bit.
That's kind of crazy. Like all these, like when you have someone who's so recognizable getting into, you know, a hobby or getting into like a niche culture that isn't so visible, like it just raises the price on everything. It's kind of,
I think Pokemon cards especially, though, hits a nostalgia point because I can certainly remember when I was like 10 and 11 and just having cards. Look at my Charizard, look at someone's Venusaur.
I wish my brother kept his Charizard. Yeah.
Did he have an Alpha Charizard?
Yeah, he had one.
That's so
threw
cool.
it away.
Threw it away?
Like the first print.
Oh my God, guys, don't listen to that. I'm going to have to blur that.
But yeah, because at that point in time, it's just like a piece of card.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean anything until until you look back and you're like, oh, damn.
100%. That stack I just showed you, it is just pieces of cardboard until I sell it. So they don't mean anything. But I kind of think to myself, like if I pull cards from packs, I'm not going to play them. There's many different formats. And so if I pull like two of the same card from one box, I'm like, well, someone who wants 4 of these could do with these 2 because that'll feel like they're set and they'll actually use them and play them. And so part of me is like, sell them to someone who's actually going to play them.
I see.
Yeah. But yeah, there is also a bit of money involved in flipping it and whatnot.
Are there any cards that you would definitely like never sell? Or any price you'd sell them?
Currently, the one card I want to keep, it's called Urza Lord High Artificer. Now, in terms of the Magic lore, it's a foil, by the way, which means it's all shiny and nice. It was one of the Seek Mythic rares from the set that it was in, so people were opening packs to get this card. And it was also a character that's been talked about and hinted since the start of Magic history, and only 4 years ago got a card. 4 years ago?
Whoa,
2 years ago, actually, sorry. And it's also a really strong card. Not as strong as Black Lotus, but a really strong card. And it's got a lot of value to a lot of players for a lot of different reasons. Not only is its power good, but its meaning behind it and the history and whatnot. So I'm going to definitely hold on to that. And there's a few others, but yeah.
How did you get into Magic lore? Because it's not like when you play Magic the Gathering, it doesn't really have. I mean, it has like a sentence or two, but it's not really a sentence that sort of. Yeah, it's not really something that really like gets you interested for me. Like it wasn't like I looked at it and I was like, oh, like I wonder what the story is. Because it's very like singular. It's very modular.
So they've released stories as like big books. They recently had their Avengers Endgame moment. So Planeswalkers, who are the big main characters of the stories. Nicol Bolas, a big evil dragon, was literally Thanos trying to take out people's souls with one spell. And they spent like years and years setting that up. And so they have different stories there, but it's a universe where anything can work. And they actually announced a new set recently, which is Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. So Kamigawa was like
Kamigawa, yeah.
Yeah. So old school Japanese.
I remember Kamigawa.
So it's 2,000 years in the future in Kamigawa, and it's cyberpunk inspired.
So it was like, like samurais and stuff, but cyberpunk. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
can't wait to see the
super keen
the
for
art for that.
You can get different stories. You can also get like really cool random bits of there's a card called Rancor, and its flavor text is hatred outlives the hateful. And I'm like, whoa, wow, that's like really deep and wise.
That's hella deep. Oh my God.
But I kind of love that at the same time. Yeah. I've got like a couple of
the flavor text. Yeah, the flavor text can get pretty spicy sometimes.
But sometimes as well, there's a card called Dark Confidant, and it's the ultimate black card apparently, and its flavor text is greatness at any cost, which is basically the whole
Ooh.
philosophy behind black. And so there's also cool little nuggets of moments
That's
like
so
that.
cool.
We've kind of deviated
What's
a little
it?
bit.
Yeah.
I've got a little game for you, okay? Do you want to play a game? It's about shoes. Okay. I'm going to show you 3 pairs of shoes I have, and I just want your opinion on them. It's very simple. No, it's very simple, okay?
All right. I'm kind of keen to see what you've got.
No, I've only got one. I haven't got both. It's just easier. One.
Okay.
First one we've got is a Jordan 12.
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, okay.
I've
I
worn
didn't
these
know
a
you were a
little
Jordan
bit.
guy.
I quite like Jordans. I'm tall, and so the high tops are really good.
True. True.
This is
Jordan
one of
12s.
the best. It's a bit dirty. Sorry about that, but I buy shoes to wear them. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
What do you feel about these? Was this a good pick?
First off, everyone's style is different.
Yep.
For me, I wasn't really big on Jordans. Like I just missed the moment. Jordan 1s always will be a classic, but I think that's just but I think that's more just like a social diffusion, of popularity, and sort of like sinks into everyone, and we all think the same thing. Jordan 12s, I've always thought they were really clean, but I think I'm not sure if it's the 13s, the one that have like the sole looks like a puma foot.
Oh yeah,
I think
yeah.
they're the 13. Yeah. Really like those. Like, yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna say yes for those. Okay. In a little bit of a different direction, a bit more modern. I don't have any older versions, but we've got the Yeezy right here.
No way, dude.
So these ones are cool because if you shine you can kind of see it here, but if you shine a flashlight on them, these actually
they're reflective.
Oh goodness, these actually glow.
That's kind of
a little
sick.
Bit. And so
that's kind of sick. Wow.
Yeah.
And you've got the special. Is that a normal lace connector? Is that?
No, so this
See
is
that little
just like
tube?
a thing, yeah. Oh yeah, it connects the lace, so that's where they're stitched together.
Is that? Oh no way! That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were connected together like that.
All right, so you like these more than the other ones?
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I love the alien-looking design. So
all right, and then these are going to be the most polarizing because I've got an opinion on these. The off-whites.
I knew you were gonna. I actually really like them. I think
they're
very like
this is single-handedly the ugliest shoe I have ever purchased.
Why is that? What do you think? What makes it ugly?
Okay, my light's not doing any favors. Okay, this helps. If I hold it back here, this is green. Yeah. It's not. It's like a spearmint kind of color.
Okay.
I don't understand these orange bits. Now I get the tag. I think the tag's kind of cool. These orange bits, cool. They're held on by like one stitch at the bottom and top of the shoe. There's actually something underneath this one, which you don't see normally.
What is under? Is that just like another kind of tag?
I think it is. These are off-white Covercial Ablo. It's just like a bit of.
It's like the
normal temperature collection.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I got these during Boxing Day. Pretty
so like
half price or something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good deal. That's a very good deal.
So
I love that kind of stuff. I love off-white things. Just straight up.
What's your favorite? First to third.
In terms of like culturally.
Yep.
This is really interesting because you have 3 shoes from 3 culturally iconic people. So you have Michael Jordan, you have Kanye West, and then you have Virgil Abloh. For me, I think Virgil and Kanye I lean towards. So
fair enough.
If I had to pick a favorite, I think in terms of like design, in terms of comfort, it would be Kanye. But in terms of like design and an artistic impression of an object that is a shoe, it would definitely be the off-whites.
Very, very interesting. I like that. So I see where you're coming from. That's really cool. Personally, the Yeezys are the most comfortable shoe I've ever fucking worn.
Nice. Yeah.
They are
the way
cool.
they are, man. Because he's designed it so like the back of the shoe sort of curves up a bit. So when you take a step, it's like you get support all the way through.
Yeah, and when I wear them, I end up being 6'4", which is nice at times. So, because I need to be flattered about my height more. It's not like every time I meet people who go on a Tinder date, they're like, "Oh, you're so tall." Like, just wear these shoes to make me taller. Like,
I got to get me a pair of those, man.
Yeah.
They're crazy though. They're like an inch tall. What's your favorite out of those three?
I've gotten the most wear out of the Jordans, and I'm moving towards a bit more minimalist at the moment. So if I just actually briefly move this is the Bape top underneath. I might do something like this going out, honestly. And I've got Subi in like a charcoal color.
Oh no way! Those are great.
Sort of like that.
Oh, those are great. Oh yeah, I remember those.
And I've got the denim jacket to match it actually. So maybe I could put that over this. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas.
That's great. We had yeah. What?
Oh no, sorry, you were saying something.
No, you go.
Where are you currently?
I'm at the warehouse. So,
right.
Just packing some online orders. And so, that's pretty much set for the day, getting ready for tomorrow. And then, so this is the warehouse. This is the top floor.
Oh, wow.
This is where we have all our photo shoots and stuff.
So cool.
So we're just waiting on, new collections coming. And so getting some samples and designing all that. Very streetwear-esque. It's very much like art inspired, graphic inspired onto like a tee.
Let's talk good segue more onto NAEON itself. And I said that right on the Instagram ad. So
you did. You got had someone say like NAEON, and I was like, oh no, but I don't blame them. Like it hasn't been explained.
So. Is NAEON?
NAEON is a portmanteau. So portmanteau is a combination of two words. And so NAEON is a combination of the words new and the word aeon. And joined together, they form NAEON, which pretty much means like a new age or a new era. For us, we saw the start of NAEON as a new era for us, a start of something new, a start of a new time for us. And it's kind of a reminder of, always wanting to create something new, something exciting. And, we sort of summarized it as like objects and experiences together. And so we want to make new experiences for people and new items, new objects. We make clothes, but I think it'd be really cool to make like homeware or furniture or, if we could make a house, oh man, that'd be so sick.
You make a house? Wow.
Yeah, I would. Oh, imagine that, man. Like a NAEON collab with like Metricon and we make like a building together.
I would really like a high-end streetwear Australian brand to be on the map, and NAEON's going to be it, man. Like, absolutely.
Oh, dude, appreciate it.
Is Off-White technically American? Because I know they sit in in Italy. What's that city called?
Milan?
Milan, yeah.
Yeah, Milan, yeah. Off-White is, Virgil is American, but the brand has been situated within Milan. And so I guess you could call them an Italian brand. But a lot of their values and, their creative director himself is also American. So
you say we when it comes to creative. Who are your collaborative partners?
So it's me and my brother. He's downstairs right now. He's working on his other stuff. And then it's pretty much like whoever I come across. Sometimes I just ask like friends for, their thoughts. It's pretty nice. Like in this area, there's actually a lot of other small business owners. And so, they also have brands. And so it's nice that I get to go over and just be like, hey, like, what do you think of this? Or like, would you ever consider this? And how did you find like doing this? And, they always come up with, interesting ideas for me to reflect on. So it's kind of nice. Like I always feel like sort of the little guy, and I just get to go around and just like ask people like, hey, like, how'd you go with this? And what do you think? And, they'll give me a good answer. It's a lot of head scratching. I do find myself, like every day sort of just like trying to find new solutions to like an endless list of problems. But it's definitely, the experience has definitely made me stronger. And I think at this point, I'm just starting to get more comfortable with being uncomfortable as like a daily sort of experience and just to keep going.
Dude, when we were arranging this, I kept on bringing up entrepreneurship with you. And when you said it earlier, this is touching on a nerve, clearly.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's important.
You said it earlier, like entrepreneurship. I don't know if it's uneasy with you or if how you relate to it, but do you consider yourself one?
I don't know. I do have. I think it definitely is coming from, I guess, childhood trauma, and it comes from a place of a reminder of always not being enough. And I think the reason why that I always am a bit uneasy with the term entrepreneur is because a lot of the mentors and the people that I follow and listen to, like they are the definition of entrepreneur. They are like nonstop. They provide value to people. They're always finding new ways to help others out, and they just live like a great life. And then when I look at myself, it's because it's such a big difference. Like it seems as if by calling myself an entrepreneur, that I'm doing them a disservice. And I guess that's the reason why I'm so uneasy with that word, because to honor those people, I respect the term and I don't want to use it loosely, to sort of bring them down. But yeah, like it's for me, I'm working on it. And
Do you
so
have
it's
like,
learning. Yeah.
do you have entrepreneurial icons?
Oh, definitely. One of the guys is it's as if like these guys were sort of my mom and my dad, in the sense that, they end up in the same place, but their approaches are very different in the way that they speak and how they carry themselves. One of these guys is Ed Milet. And to some degree, I almost consider him like a mother figure. He's like, he's a big guy. Like his bicep is probably the size of my head. But the way that he speaks is so soft, and it's very compassionate. And
Where's he from?
He's American.
All right.
So he was an Italian. He's an Italian who grew up, in a sort of middle class family, and he was the one that took his family to a higher level. And he owns like multiple properties, in the world, multiple businesses. He's worth over 9 figures.
Wow.
And so, yeah, we're talking about like a peak performance person here. And yeah, like it's amazing that people like this exist. So yeah. And the other guy is Andy Frisella. And so if you know Andy Frisella, he's like this dude that pretty much like just swears nonstop and is always like, like, oh, just, like stop being a pussy. But the other side of Andy is the part where he actually has a genuine care for people. And it's through his care that he's able to be so transparent and honest. Like he has no fear of telling you that you're being like a shit right now. And it's, it comes from a place of love. Like if I don't tell you, you can't be the best person that you can be. He's American as well. But yeah, like these people are the people I listen to. There's tons of other people. But yeah.
I think I did an elective in uni on entrepreneurship, and I thought it was just going to be a melting pot of cringe and a bunch of people with their random ideas and whatnot. Weirdly enough, though, the first lesson was the main one that has stuck with me. And when it comes to coming up with something, don't come up with an idea. Everyone has ideas. Come up with a solution to a problem. And if you actually think about all great products that you love and use, and how they're presented and things like that, I always think of the iPhone. And you watch back to that 2006 presentation, that infamous magic show that Steve Jobs pulled. And I say magic show because he was actually swapping iPhones throughout the show because all the features weren't integrated yet. So he's doing sleight of hand on stage.
Yeah.
And he ends the presentation going online, playing a song, and then doing a call, which was something that everyone behind the scenes was like, nah, this isn't going to happen. Like the control board was like, oh, we're fucked. And so, but anyway, solution to the problem. Everyone's got 4 different devices for things. We've got phone, music playing device, and an internet connectivity thing all in one. And how's that revolutionized everything? I wouldn't put Steve Jobs in my top tier of entrepreneurs. I would actually say Dr. Dre is one of them because, there were different types of rap that were emerging, but there's a truth to his and MWA and everything that they did in the 80s and 90s, and then bringing in Eminem was, that's paid off pretty nicely. And then it's the music experience and the love he has for it is just unparalleled. And
it's
so
crazy.
He's got is worth $1 billion or something like that now, which you're like, how? But
it's so crazy. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So much respect for these guys.
The other one is Bernie Burns, and he is one of the co-founders of
way.
Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Dude, he's,
I bumped into him at an airport.
No way.
Yeah. So this was in 2016. I love this story, actually. It felt so cool. I was telling my dad about their show. It was called Day 5. Now, Day 5 was this big thing that they were doing. It's all about how if you fall asleep, you die. And so an apocalypse basically happens overnight. And they're at Day 5 of being awake.
Holy moly.
And
that's such a cool idea.
Yeah. Super unique. And I was telling Dad all about it. And eventually we have to get in line to get onto the bus to get to our terminal. And I'm like, by the way, Dad, the guy who made it standing in front of us. It was him and his fiance, now wife, Ashley. I forget her name, Ashley Jenkins.
Ashley.
And
insane.
Dad's like, you should talk to him. You should say hi. I'm like, oh, they're traveling. They've just been at VidCon, I'll let them be.
Yeah. Sorry, no. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt.
No, say.
Okay. Are you the kind of when you meet a celebrity, are you the kind of person that would be like, oh, respect their privacy? They probably just want alone time.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you wouldn't go up, just be like, hey, oh my God, are you this? Let's take a photo. You just be like, yeah, I've seen them. And that's good enough for you.
Yeah. I bumped into Will Arnett at a resort. He's an actor. He's in Arrested Development. He's BoJack Horseman.
Oh, yeah.
He's in a bunch of stuff.
Blades
of Glory. Yeah. And he was there at the resort with his kids. And I'm just like, let's just leave him alone. But there's other side. I was on a flight with Redfoo. Redfoo can't hide. LMFAO. Party right in the house tonight. The tall, skinny one.
Oh, it's because of massive.
Yes. He can't hide anywhere. And he was first on the plane sitting in business class.
Yeah. No way.
Oh, my God.
That would suck. Just imagine every time you get on a flight, you have to try and hide.
Anyway, Bernie Burns, entrepreneurial icons, founder of Rooster Teeth. I didn't actually explain that earlier for those who were trying to figure out who we're talking about. At Red vs. Blue, and a huge online entertainment company. And they were the first online entertainment company, really. You didn't really have that. And I'm like, wow, they've really capitalized on this space. And
I remember them being the first guys, first Let's Play guys. They were the first guys that I watched when I was growing up.
Achievement Hunter as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
They were super cool and super innovative, and a lot of things that they have done have, still emerging now that YouTubers are trying to be. And so seeing him, I'm like, I can't believe it. My 16-year-old mind was going crazy. So I didn't talk to him. I followed him down. And the first thing he did when he hopped on the shuttle was offer Ashley a seat at the train. And
Gentleman.
True gentleman. Exactly. And I'm just like, do you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to always offer the small things because I feel like that's going to lead up to big things. And maybe, I don't know why, but that's what I connected and learned from it. I think we
did you spot on the Rooster Teeth podcast? Oh yeah.
I think Rooster Teeth podcast was the first podcast I listened to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they would just talk about all sorts of random stuff. Yeah.
They're really good at that, especially when Gavin's on as well.
He's quite funny. Headlight fluid back in the day. Yeah.
I remember watching a lot of those, the animated shorts of the of the podcast highlights. They were so
many great moments.
Man, dude, actually, so many memories. You opened a door I didn't know.
I know a lot of people. It's hard to sort of think when Sky does Minecraft stop making videos. When people are like, watch my childhood. They had 9 million views, 9 million subscribers. Or something like that.
It was insane. I remember just watching it. Yeah.
I never got into Minecraft videos though. I can't remember what I
Same.
did. I just play League of Legends now. All this lockdown, I'm stuck at home, and so it's like I'm 15 again. I've got to get off
What are you
that.
playing these days?
League of Legends and Magic the Gathering Arena. So we
Oh, true.
I'm still just engaging in that. Do you play much games? Because you seem like you're busy all the time.
Yeah, I haven't really played. I have been. Oh, so
Do you get
I've
free
been
time?
really enjoying. Yes and no. Yes, I get free time, and no, because whenever I get free time and I realize I have free time, I'm thinking about whether I'm wasting my life because I'm not actually working.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, which is good and bad. It's good because it's always a reminder of, like, oh, you can get more done, but it's bad in the sense of like I have to sort of be able to remind myself that I'm like just chilling. Yeah, it's
Right.
yeah, and so it's like it's being able to like self-regulate, especially your mental, and being able to be like, okay, like now it's time to rest, and so you should rest and not feel guilty about it, and just embrace it as a part of your mental health and your own health, and just enjoy it.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
video games are you playing at the moment?
Right now I'm playing Overcooked, actually.
Overcooked?
Yeah, do you know
I
that
don't
game?
know Overcooked.
It's like basically, oh my god, it's one of the cutest games ever.
Oh,
so
yeah?
I've been playing it. Yeah. It's been so fun. So it's pretty much each person controls one chef. So it's multiplayer.
Yeah.
And everyone controls like a single chef, and you just basically pretend you're in a kitchen and you just cook. And it's so simple because like you get an onion that's like the size of the guy's body, and you chop it with a massive knife.
Nice.
You put it in a pot.
Yeah.
And you do that 3 times, and apparently that's soup. And then when that's done, you just serve it. And so it's really fun because it's so simple. And it really helps like communication skills between your team, and you have to like figure stuff out. And so yeah, it's been really fun in that way.
So do you play that with the Neon team or?
Oh no, I play it with the missus actually. So
Oh, right.
It's been really fun. Yeah, it's like a cute little thing we can share.
You're right.
Yeah.
How long have you two been seeing each other?
Since I'd say I think March.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's good to have a rock with you when you take risks like this. And
definitely, it's probably one of the most important things ever. Like being able to have someone who's very stable and supportive. It's probably it's basically one of the most important partnerships you'll ever have. Like in business. But holy crap, like, yeah, it's so important.
Yeah, just make sure she doesn't think that she is a part of your business, okay? Just make sure, yeah. Make sure she's like, your missus, and there's a separation. But
she helps out from time to time. But it's
nice.
great because, it's great because she's very open to, like, we've definitely have a lot of difficult conversations. But it's definitely practiced. I don't know. It's strange when you come from a background of like conflict avoidance.
Yep.
And then when you get to someone who's like okay to sit down, and when you tell them something or you say something that they don't really like, and they're able to sit down and be like, okay, I don't like this, but like, what can we do about this? And so it's so amazing to be able to have a constructive discussion about like, oh, okay, let's work out what can we do so that you feel good and I feel good, and we both still feel like we enjoy each other and ourselves as individuals. And so it's great. Yeah, she's so mature, and yeah, it's incredible.
I'm so happy for you. I don't think I've met this person yet, but one day, maybe.
You will, man. You will. Yeah. You will. No worries.
You talk about a new drop coming in and samples and whatnot.
Yeah.
We don't want to give away too much, obviously, but moving forward for Neon, what can we expect a little bit?
Right now, we're focusing on getting the basics done right. So making sure that we genuinely have a good product, and making sure that the product does provide value, and that we're also making things that we enjoy making as well. So we're covering the basics, like your tees, crews, hoodies, stuff like that. And then, after that, we hope to move into more interesting, ideas, more interesting pieces. But that's pretty much it for now. Just waiting for designs and samples to come through.
And are you just in Australia at the moment, or?
So right now, all our manufacturing is already done. So everything, all the base manufacturing in terms of like, um, our clothing is all done. And so now it's just up to us to, design and create prints and then, um, yeah, get those little pieces done. So it's all in Australia now, but we soon hope to be outsourcing. So we'll be looking elsewhere. We're trying to look either to Japan or Portugal, but it really depends at this point in time. Yeah, COVID's
Making
definitely made
things
it
tough.
confusing. Yeah, yeah.
Did COVID
But we're trying.
slow down any entrepreneurial dreams or anything like that?
Um, I think for me, not really. I think I'm very lucky in the sense that throughout COVID, I've always been able to have the space to work. So it's either coming to the warehouse to do like online orders and stuff like that, or like just working on the website at home. And so yeah, it's been really nice.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for me because all the things that I want to do require other people stand up. Um, I
Yeah,
talked about it briefly on Christian Buddy's podcast. Quick shout out to
yeah,
him. Behind me, um, I want to do, if people come in for podcasts, they go here.
yeah.
And you can see the TV.
So sick.
That's got a Chromecast on it. And so idealistically, we're sitting there talking and someone here is either searching up videos and whatnot and playing them for us to look at and talk about in
Oh,
different
nice.
things. And
Oh, that's
someone
legit.
mixes the audio and the playback here. So
Yeah,
it does become a production, a proper whole
that's so
thing.
sick. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I need to invest. I need another SLR and stuff like that. One thing I
Oh,
probably should clear up as well. I have made a positive $0 from this podcast.
that's all right, man.
I've
It's
made a
just a
positive
start.
$0 from stand up and everything I've done, but I'm
Yeah,
just going to
it's
keep
still
working to.
positive.
Yes. No, exactly. It's actually doing it is so goddamn rewarding. And
Yeah,
I hope you feel good about
yeah.
this because you were saying earlier that you felt a bit nervous. And
Oh, I am a bit
when
nervous.
you were
Yeah,
talking
like,
earlier, you were just like
yeah.
12 minutes in talking about the same thing over and over. And I was like, wow, you were just onto it. You're
Oh,
fantastic.
thanks, man.
You're
I don't know, it
killing
just felt
this.
natural. Oh, thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Like,
Making me very comfortable.
no worries. Awesome. What else is there to touch on? Is that warehouse like, how big is it? It looks quite, I'm impressed that you have
This
a
is
warehouse. Yeah.
the Oh, thanks. It's really thanks to my brother. So
Okay.
he's years and years of work that have really culminated to this point in time, and I'm very lucky to be able to just sort of drop in at the exact point
Is
where
he
he's
older than you?
done so much. Very much so. Yeah, I'd say
Oh.
about I think 7 years.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So he's much older than me. Much wiser too.
People
But
might
yeah,
know his
just a lot
business.
to
Do you
learn.
want to quickly plug it?
Uh,
Maybe not?
uh, uh, I
Nah.
guess, yeah, why not? Oh shit, I don't
Up to
know.
you, man.
I don't know. I should probably let him. We'll say no this time, and then next time
Okay.
I'll ask him for
Yeah.
future reference. Um,
It's
but
pretty
yeah,
cool. You might know it casually, but like,
thanks, man.
yeah.
um,
You got it's
but
a talented
yeah,
family, that's for sure.
I would say so. I think it's a combination of upbringing, values. Yeah,
What did
but
your
I think what
parents
I've
do?
learned. Yeah. I don't know. I think parents definitely set up
Oh no, sorry.
the.
What do your parents
Oh,
do?
what do they do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, dad's actually retired, so he just helps out with Ed from time to time, and then mom's a aged care worker,
Oh,
and so
cool.
yeah, she enjoys that. So she likes helping people in that sense.
Yeah, so that's where you got
Um,
it from.
I guess maybe, yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah,
talked
I don't
about wanting to make
know.
a neon house. Is that something? For some reason, when I think of that, I think people go in and they walk through, and there's all sorts of lights and a cool sort of like a. I'm just going to use haunted house as the phrase, but sort of like a walk through experience.
Yeah.
That's what I think of for
Oh.
some reason when I hear that.
Oh, okay.
You
Hey,
know what I mean?
maybe that could be. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like in terms of like to create an experience for people and something for them to like do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. When I thought of neon house, I sort of thought of something like architectural, like something who's purpose built or like experimental in terms of what a house is, and yeah,
Would you
I don't
actually
know. It's just very.
live there or just?
Oh, if I lived there, oh, it would be so much fun to make it and then live in there.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream home? Do you have like a house that you sort of look at and you're like, damn, that's nice?
I'm talking with friends about moving out. So I've got this whole
No
thing.
way.
Looking to move
No.
out. If my pod was making money, idealistically, I would get like a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment and turn one of the rooms into a studio kind of similar to this.
So sick.
Obviously, though, I need sponsorships or something like that to be able to afford that kind of thing. The one dream pod actually I'd want to do, you'll find this goofy as fuck and totally joke, but do you know Moondog?
No, what is that?
Okay, Moondog's a brewery, and what I want to do is I want to get like a panel of like me and 3 others, and we try a selection of their beers and just talk about it. And I'd love if Moondog could help us with that.
Why
one.
not, right? That'd be a hectic sponsorship. Just sit there drinking beers.
But they have all sorts of interesting flavors. I want to say that in the most positive way possible because
wait, I'm gonna Google
they have
this.
pavlova flavor,
and
stuff like that.
Right, look at this.
Oh
yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. Do you have a favorite flavor?
Splice of Heaven is really good. I quite like that.
Oh.
A bit of a sweet kind of tropical and pineapple flavor involved in the beer.
Whoa.
Well, I didn't realize beer had flavors either. So
I just thought it was I was like, do you drink a lot of alcohol? Are you like the kind of person who's very into your alcohols?
Yes. I was trying to think
not
of
to
a
say anything
funny way around it. I'm really Moondog actually did come out with new seltzers. They're all really good. So I'm just going to say positive things. Moondog, please. I need this. No, it would genuinely be super cool, Moondog, if you could help us out with that one. We'd have so much fun. Hashtag Moondog.
Hashtag Moondog.
Hashtag
Moondog sponsors, please.
Yeah,
Moondog.
I need it.
Moondog. Some ASMR right now. Moondog, please sponsor us.
Hello, Moondog. Give us
as if I'm drinking beer.
How's that for the audio listeners? Yeah. The other dream pod is I put a post ages ago. My friend opened a cafe in Richmond called Pyramid Scheme.
I think I saw that.
And I want to do a podcast at Pyramid Scheme itself. They have a very interesting approach there.
That'd be so cool.
I don't want to talk too much about it. And I do actually have a whole new different podcast, which I want to develop. The only problem is it's like this kind of thing works well with Zoom. This idea that we have it works better if it's a bit more in person, but I'd rather develop the pod and do it in person, and then God forbid another lockdown happens, we can then move to Zoom. It's quite difficult to move from Zoom to real life for a podcast sort of setting, and I would need a bit of cashola as well. I should probably really advertise this one, but I've had some great reception recently, which is delightful and always fun.
That's good.
The OnlyFans one was quite big. You know, they went backwards on the change that they made.
Oh, so they are
allowing for the explicit content again. Yeah,
that's really interesting.
What a strange week it's been.
I don't know. I guess they blew up because of it. So maybe they need it. Maybe
Ben Garens on his Instagram story said, he's an Australian YouTuber about my age, another dream guest actually, that it is like Macca's decided to stop selling burgers, fries, and nuggets. Like, it's like it's still McDonald's, but it's kind of not. Like,
it's not McDonald's anymore.
Yeah,
that's fair. I remember only hearing about them because of that. And like that was like their iconic thing. That was like the thing they were known for.
Dude, I learned so much from it. Lady Stardust is her name. Shout out to you. Very, very interesting, smart, talented woman. Also my age, actually. A lot of young people.
It's great.
You're my age.
Really yeah. Of course.
Dude, we've done an hour. You've killed it. You got anything else you want to add?
Good job, man. Like, congratulations on starting this.
Thank you so much.
It's obviously, takes a lot of willpower, knowledge, overcoming fear. And so, yeah, it's always an interesting journey. And yeah, best of luck to you.
I feel so inspired by you. Seriously. I'd love to have a clothing line. I actually have thought of a design. Maybe when I stop recording, I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, legit. The thing is, you can. Merchandise is not the gates of like clothing, and merchandising is becoming slowly, like it's being lowered. Like years ago, the gates, like gatekeeping in towards fashion and the clothing industry used to be, a very hard place to get into. But now, as long as you have an audience and you provide something that means something to people, you can legit do anything. Yeah. So who knows? Joe Dot podcast clothes.
Exactly. Maybe just get my logo as a back print. It's a bit whack because people are going to be like, why is his head on a stand? It's quirky. I remember showing my mum and she loved it. And I feel like if my mum likes it, then it works.
It's all that matters.
Dude, keep it real. I feel so inspired. I love the sentiment that you give. And
thank you, man.
I look forward to all the new drops and exciting things you come across. You're going to be the next Virgil, man. I can feel it.
Oh, thank you, man. Love to work with him one day. Be so sick.
Right.
Virgil, if you're listening, please.
Virgil, please. Sponsorship, please. All right, take care. Good night, Australia.
Good job, brother.